Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to another episode of Hades 1. Here is our mirror setup for the day. We are going to be running the gauntlets again, or rather the twin fists of Malphon. We're going to take the aspect of Talos today, and I was between Dionysus or Zeus on the attack, but I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a Scintillating Feast Icewine duo boon focused build if I can. So we're going to take the Zeus attack first. Zeus's attack is just a lot easier to manage. It gives us a lot of good AoE and very solid damage early on. We're going to take 1 level of hard labor, 2 levels of lasting consequences, maxed out convenience fee jury summons, 3 levels of extreme measures, maxing benefits package, middle management, underworld customs, 1 level of forced overtime, because I just find that a little bit more forgiving. Somehow I prefer that to the maxed forced overtime with no levels of hard labor and lasting consequences. It's a personal preference thing, and I certainly recommend maxing out forced overtime if you'd rather not have to be as conservative about your HP. Maxing out height and security, 2 levels of damage control and 2 levels of tight deadline.
I'm asking for it.
Here's our 432 heat run in a row. Let's see how it goes. Hoping for a good starting Zeus attack boon. Knowing him, he's not going to offer it again.
You shall be getting out of there in due course, nephew.
But we'll see. Let's see. What do we get? Okay, called it. Not a single attack boon offered. We roll once and hope we see it.
Boons instead?
Lowest tier, but it is his attack boon. That sets us up for his duo with Dionysus. I will want to find one more Zeus boon that drops lightning bolts, so either his special, his dash, or his call. I think out of the 3, his call is objectively the best option. I'm thinking about... I had planned around possibly going a Smoldering Air Belt last time with Aphrodite's duo with Zeus, and I may consider that too, because she does work very well with Dionysus's Hangover. The main issue is I don't really have a good way of applying Hangover without Dionysus's attack, so I may favor going for a Dionysus dash and save my call for Zeus then. Worst case scenario, I do take Zeus's special, although I'd really rather not, because we probably want a percent-based special on the aspect of Talos. Granted, I think our build isn't really focused around dealing damage with the special. The way Talos works is it pulls enemies in with the special, and then that allows you to do 50% enhanced cast and attack damage. Quick cutter, after using your special, do an AoE, dash upper does 100% damage in an area around it. Honestly, I might just take Colossal Knuckle, because that'll give us a 30% damage reduction while I'm attacking. We're going to hope to see, probably, I think it's called Breaching Cross, the boon that makes us do 900% more damage to armor, because that boon is insane on high heat. It melts armor, and it makes, since our entire survivability, kind of at the early game at least, depends on, well actually throughout the entire game honestly, depends on us stagger locking or hit stunning enemies so that they can't damage us. It's just objectively better to, Breaching Cross just adds a huge level of not just DPS, but survivability overall. I'm going to use a special where I can, but I'm not going to prioritize it.
Of the gods.
A pomp on the attack really doesn't do that much for us. It's only 4 damage. Do I take the Chaos Gate here? Ares is not really what I'm considering for the build. Coin could help us buy a boon from the shop, and we will need at least 1 boon to sell later because of Underworld Customs to get to the next floor. I think I will take the Chaos Gate here.
Going in.
Increased boon rarity, increased attack damage, all very nice options for us. Honestly, HP wouldn't be terrible.
Infinite possibilities can be tedious to choose from. So let me provide you with a significantly smaller set with which you may yet change the fate's designs.
Alright, I called Zeus. Let's call Chaos too. I'm going to say he's going to give us special damage, he's going to give us meta progression items, and he's going to give us boon rarity. HP, boon rarity, special damage. Called 2 of the 3. That's kind of nuts. We don't want to give up the ability to gain we don't want to give up the ability to gain coin here, because like I said, we need to be able to sell a boon. I think I'll take the boon rarity increase. We take 26% more damage. 35 HP is nothing to sniff at here, but I think I'll take the risk of taking more damage at the cost for the merit of getting that boon rarity, because that could set us up for a very good... We're hunting for a lot of duos, so that boon rarity helps us there. Hermes is also very valuable on, well, any run, frankly, but especially on a 32 heat run. So I think that's the choice here, and that's the choice I'm going to commit to. Definitely try to take out witches as quick as possible. They are a huge threat in Tartarus, especially if you have max forced overtime. I only have 1 level, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make them completely... it doesn't nullify their threat entirely. There's Artemis. Artemis isn't terrible here. Do we have another god? We do not. Honestly, I won't mind taking Artemis. Her crit chance is never a bad option on any build, so we want to see Dionysus most of all so we can get his cast, and Demeter with Ice Wine would be really nice. Do I buy this Yarn of Ariadne? I don't think I do, honestly. As far as what boon I take from Artemis, that's the real question that I don't have a clear-cut answer to just yet. Ooh, I do need to be careful because I am taking enhanced damage and we do not break armor very quickly. Zeus's attack is still incredible damage and incredible AoE, so it's very worth taking up, but that doesn't completely win the run for you on out the gate. What I should be doing though is getting the Boiling Blood enhanced damage effect from our mirror perks going, and I'm choosing not to for some reason. We will lose out on that once we get what is it, Trippy Shot? Because Trippy Shot doesn't lodge bloodstones into enemies.
That's what you get.
All right, Zagreus. Catch your breath, decide, and then what say we get you out of hell, maybe?
But it's not a terrible option. Of her options, we can't take her cast. Her special is decent. Well, I guess that's the question. Do I actually want a duo boon from her? We can't get her duo with Zeus. Her duo with Dionysus is crit chance, which is actually pretty nice for us. Her duo with Demeter is... frankly, I don't remember. Which means it's probably not that good. Oh, Crystal Clarity. Okay, it's pretty good, but we're not going to be building this. So actually, it doesn't matter if we take a core boon from her or not. I will maybe try to play around getting Splitting Headache later, because that 7.5% crit chance is nothing. It's pretty solid, especially if you stack it up with pressure points. But I think for now, the best thing we can take is an early pressure point. So that's the route I'm going to go.
Hunt is on.
And now we're getting a Palm. Again, I'll probably toss that on the attack, because I don't really have much better an option for it. For Louts, the best recommendation I have for dealing with Louts in the early phases of Tartarus is wait till they dash before you go in for your attack. Yeah, it's a little bit slower, but with armor on a melee build, you kind of need to play it a little bit safe. Do be mindful of your tight deadline, though, because what good is playing safe if you end up having no time left at the end of the fight, and then you have to rush through a boss and end up getting hit. Well, that's another reason why I don't like Talos. That special pulls its attack into us, unfortunately. I don't really know what's the better option here. The crit chance will scale better into late game. The lightning strike barely scales at all into early game, so I guess I'll take pressure points here for the increased crit chance. And then, a Zeus Artemis, darn it. I think I have to go for this trial. I will probably lose a Death Defiance here, honestly, but it's kind of worth it. The damage up that I can earn from this, getting the Zeus boon, is very well worth it. Jolted? Nope. All right. Do I reroll here is the biggest question I have to ask. And the answer is probably yes. I could take... okay, so here's the thing. I could take Zeus's special. That lets us set up for lightning strikes, or double strikes, and really just that. And that could set us up for his legendary later. Alternatively, I reroll once and see if I can snag his call, which would be ideal, or jolted. What is it? Static discharge. I think I'm going to reroll.
Anything else?
We did get an epic tier static discharge. That's a huge DPS up for us. That's awesome.
I thought we had an understanding, Zagreus, but this wouldn't be the first time I was wrong about someone.
All right, Artemis. I am sorry as always, but it had to happen. Ooh, this is going to be a rough trial if we're going to get armored crystals. Thankfully, again, we do get a decent amount of damage off of Jolted. I'm probably going to drop a Sisyphus here just for safety. Honestly speaking, it's probably for higher heat better to run Meg. She can melt mini-bosses, and mini-bosses can chunk you if you're not careful. I just find the safety that Sisyphus brings a little bit more reliable, and he makes it so maybe I can afford a boon. Unfortunately, we're going to be going into the end shop, I think, here. This could be the mid shop, I suppose. Or that may have been the mid shop. Actually, no, it was. Hold on. That was the mid shop on offer there. So we're not through Tartarus yet. We're not out of the woods. Not that Tartarus has woods. I think that's more like Erebus. All right, let's see what we get here.
Well, Zagreus, it turns out you need all the help that you can get, so here's a pity boon for you.
We take pity boons from Artemis. Do not want to take her dash strike. Do not want to take her attack right now. I don't think I waste a reroll on her. We buy clean kill to sell on the next floor. Actually, with that in mind, maybe I do buy her dash strike boon. The only downside to that is if I see... who would I actually want on the dash strike now that I think about it? I don't know. Zeus, I could make an argument for... we need, let's see, we need Dionysus on the cast, we need Demeter on the special, we need Zeus on the call, so the dash is probably open territory, but I would rather it be Dionysus dash to get hangover applied more reliably. So I think I'm just going to take clean kill. Yeah, I could sell the other boon for more, but in case we see Dionysus show up, I want to make sure that I have the option of selling his boons. A minor optimization that I was reading about with the Talos is if you dash strike and then special, you can cancel the dash strike and actually do a decent bit of rapid fire damage. I need to practice with that a bit more. It makes the damage output from Talos a bit more reliable, because it kind of overrides the knockback that you'd have from attacking enemies if you have like a Poseidon boon. Not that you usually want to run Poseidon on the attack of the gauntlets. One, it doesn't have that amazing a percentage damage scaling, so it's kind of weak all things considered. But two, it pushes enemies away, so of course you're kind of nerfing yourself. It's an anti-synergy to how the gauntlets play. I was eyeballing that Infernal Trove just for the sake of maybe getting some HP. I honestly, okay, a Fountain Chamber is huge here because we're not making amazing time towards the Furies. I have plenty of coin right now to buy a boon from the shop, so I'm going to go for the HP here for the little bit of extra survivability in hopes that it maybe prevents us from taking more damage than we need to. I genuinely don't think, I honestly think that the Talos is, the aspect of Talos is probably the weakest of the Twin Fists, if I'm being honest. I think overall Zagreus' dodge chance offers more value than the 50% damage increase on Talos' special, and I'm probably wrong in that front, but that is the way I feel. I think I have had more reliably strong runs on Zagreus because I can stack dodge chance compared to Talos, where I find that the special is a little bit unreliable to land even. I think I heard a fish, but I'm not backtracking for it. We need to be mindful of tight deadline. Prometheus Stone is cool later on in the run, but we don't really have anything to benefit from it right now. So that's End Shop versus Free Palm. We take the End Shop again. We need another boon. Hey, Demeter showed up pretty early. That's awesome. Do I take Demeter over Hermes, though? I think I do, because then that guarantees I can lock in Dionysus on the next floor, and we can really start our build rolling. So Demeter...
Cheers, mate.
I don't want your cast. Your special is honestly probably your best offering here, because that's decent damage. And it slows enemies. Our special hits twice, I believe, because of how the magnetic cutter from Talos works. So yeah, let's go Frost Flourish. I do sadly vanquish the Hermes boon to Asphodel. We'll take the HP for a little bit of extra survivability. Now keep in mind, I have decided on my 4 gods. I'm leaving Athena behind, which could be very costly. Athena is a lot of damage that I could benefit from here. For bosses especially, I think it's worth making sure that you get Magnetic Cutter going. I was going to dash in and start DPSing her, but then Meg showed up, so we play it safe here. Keep the Magnetic Cutter and Boiling Blood going with our cast for as long as we can. You gotta know her attack pattern. She kind of has a 1, 2, 3 sort of pattern with that dash attack, so be mindful of it, or you get a lot of extra damage taken that was avoidable. I'm liking this this little animation cancel strategy. Oh, I'm gonna have to dash here. Cool. All right, we took a little bit of damage, but we made it out. Oh gosh, Meg, please. Just you two, calm down. You two both calm down. There we go. All right, not the cleanest Furies, but we've got an extra minute and a half on the clock. Right now, our damage isn't that incredible though. We're gonna have to hope for some good duo boons sooner than later, or we're gonna have a lot of issue with tight deadline come Elysium in particular, going into Styx.
Your progress has been duly noted.
All right, so we're gonna lock in Dionysus here and set up for Ice Wine if we can. I can't afford anything here, and that's fine. I do have to purge a boon, and of course we don't get the boon that I bought specifically for selling. Now the question is, do I re-roll here? And honestly, I think Jolted and Pressure Points are too good to let go of, and we need Demeter's special for Ice Wine, so I'm gonna let this go. Okay, perfect. So we rerolled, we got clean kill, we get rid of that, and never look back. That 15% extra crit damage really amounts to almost nothing. Think about what I'm critting with right now. Compare it to Heartrend. Heartrend is a 150% damage increase. That's 10 times more crit damage than what clean kill gives there. So on paper, it's a very negligible amount of damage. Like if you compare, let's see, I'm doing 14 damage per punch from the Zeus attack. So if I had a 15% increase, that's like going from 14 to 15 damage about. It really, clean kill is not a good boon in terms of like all the other boons that Artemis could offer, and that's why we have no misgivings about selling it away. Enemies become a lot easier to deal with once you have their armor popped, and crits do help pop armor a fair bit faster, so try to hit them with Magnetic Cutter. Alright, I do find that, Gorgon heads are really obnoxious for me to deal with, so I'm going to try and prioritize taking them out first, because I get hit by one of their rocks, and I'm going to be taking a lot of damage. And if they have armor, it's even more likely that that's going to be the case. And here's once again why I don't like Talos. I pulled that Gorgon into me, and she instantly stoned me. The hit stun on that just does not last for very long. 24% more damage on the special isn't terrible, but again, we're not going to really be playing around the special. I would ideally like to see this damage going on to Jolted. A palm on Jolted will give us a ton of extra damage. 75 HP at the cost of time. I think I take it, honestly, and see what I get.
That was ill-advised.
I'm starting at 58 HP, so we'll have to see if I actually even net positive, but a little bit of... I'm playing maybe safer than I need to, and at the cost of tight deadline, but we can make up a lot of lost time in Asphodel. We may not be able to make up for the lost HP, though, especially if I keep getting hit by everything. Oh, we're gonna just barely net neutral, aren't we? Oh my goodness, I might even lose a Death Defiance if I'm not careful. There we go.
Fine. Help yourself.
Alright, that was not worth it. We lost more HP than we gained. Unfortunate. Alright, lesson learned, don't do Infernal Troves unless you have a very good reason to, like coin. Coin could make it worth it. Alright, we've got Splitters. Splitters I can manage. Armor is really the scary thing. It's not the Splitters themselves, it's the enemies with massive pools of HP and armor. So far, so good. Just keep focusing. Oh my goodness. How? Okay, so I am officially, like, I am done with Talos. Did you see what just happened there? I used my special, and you know what my special did? It pulled an enemy that was not even the one I was attacking into me, and so I lost my Death Defiance because it pulled it into me mid-attack animation. Okay, like, Talos just chooses whatever it wants to pull. That's not great. I think, honestly, I maintain my statement. I think I'm probably just going to stop using the Magnetic Cutter in multi-target rooms, because it has gotten me killed, or it has gotten me hit more often than not. That's a shame. Like, it's a nice damage steroid. It's definitely worth using if you can afford to, but not at the cost of the run, you know? That was an avoidable Death Defiance.
I got to make it to a feast in just a little bit here, Nan, but quickly, take this, yeah?
Alright. Lowest tier Trippy Shot is very unideal, but we take what we can get and we don't complain, because now we can set up for Scintillating Feast and Icewine, a very strong duo boon. I guess it's a duo of duo boons. Let's see. We definitely take the shop here because we need to make up for lost time. Unfortunately, that does mean we give up the Hermes, but we need to be mindful of time here, and I can't afford a god boon here, so unfortunately we lose out on Hermes and get nothing in return. But we do see ourselves getting a mini boss with a higher tier Zeus boon, which is phenomenal for us. This could set us up with a legendary or a duo boon right away. I'm going to take the HP here just for the little bit of safety it brings. I probably should be more conservative with my coin, but I'm a little bit nervous if Patroclus doesn't show up. Ooh, and we got my least favorite mini boss, honestly.
This isn't good.
All right, so what I need to do is I need to be very mindful of the rock projectiles that these guys drop. Basically all the projectiles, frankly. I swear I am trying to use my special on the Mega Gorgon. I'm just missing every time. Of course, we got the variant of her that drops lava. Got a good hit there. All right, her armor is popped, which is really good for us, and if I can keep cutting out the Skull Crusher, this should be the end of them. There we go. Okay, Skull Crusher down. May as well take those. Pop this. Unfortunately, I cannot dash while I'm using Magnetic Cutter. That's the other big downside to Talos, but I think this is an issue that all of the gauntlets have, is that when you're using your special, your attack animation is, you can't really dash during the special very easily. All right, we talked about taking Zeus's aid, but do I reroll for a duo here? It's not wrong to take a higher tier Zeus's aid, though. Let me confirm that we're even set up for their duos, because that is a thing I did not confirm yet. Let's see. Cold Fusion we can get, that's whatever. Scintillating Feast we can get. So I probably reroll here. We have a lot of we have a decently high chance. Going for it.
Not what I need right now.
Didn't get it. And of course we don't get Zeus's call anymore. Unfortunate. I'm going to take Storm Lightning here. It'll help us with setting up for his legendary. We can now get Zeus's legendary on the attack, which will be a huge DPS up for us. We're also seeing a Hermes here, which with our increased boon rarity, I think best for us would be either survivability, I could make an argument for, but ideally I would like to see some nice, oops, wow, I'm dashing into all of those. Once again, I was holding left and I targeted it upwards with the special. Like, Talos just seems really unreliable for landing its magnetic cutter in a room full of enemies, which is really unfortunate because it doesn't feel that way with the bow or the spear or basically any of the other projectile-based weapons, honestly. I am lamenting the lack of Athena in this build. I am feeling the want for her pretty severely here. Should drop out my trippy shot as much as possible, since we are going to be... I'm aiming for Blackout. Blackout with everything else would be amazing. I'm not going to be counting on it, but it would be really cool to get that.
Got here in practically no time at all, boss. Ready now?
Let's see. An extra dash, honestly, not that bad. Really wish we had gotten set up for maybe rush delivery, but I'll take the extra dash. That's a lot of survivability. We're going to go for the coin here because we need to be able to afford a boon from either the mid or end shop, or I'd like to. That's the best chance of us seeing some of the duos we're aiming for. I'm really not a fan of Skull Crushers as an enemy, especially when you're running tight deadline, because they waste a lot of time in... They're among the slowest enemies to have to kill. In that instance, I hit him with the magnetic cutter and he didn't even get pulled. Like, it just, ugh. Talos, be better. Come on. You have a really cool game in the form of the Talos Principle. Why can't you have a really cool aspect weapon in the form of the aspect of Talos? Alright. This is... Dragons are really scary in Asphodel. They're the equivalent of the witch rooms in Tartarus. They're just a lot of projectiles that can be... that are aggressively homing. They home in aggressively. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of projectiles I had to dodge there. How did you not die, sir? Or madam, I can't actually tell gender here. All right, let's take our coin, and this is probably the end shop, I want to say. So hopefully we can afford a god boon. I didn't actually check my coin, but oh well. We can afford a god boon exactly. All right, let's take it. Scintillating Feast, there we go. So the way this works is when we drop our Festive Fog now from our trippy shot, we drop lightning bolts.
2 for 1. So
this is the main reason we want Zeus's one of Zeus's lightning bolt dropping abilities, because we can't get double strike with Scintillating Feast. We need either Thunder Flourish, his special, or Zeus's call or dash to be able to do this. We do have fairly solid damage though, and if we can get things like double strike and jolted going a little bit further, our damage is nothing to sniff at. Lerny is kind of camping on those lava pools, so I was a little afraid to get too close to him. That's a little bit of suboptimal time loss, so it was probably better to take the hit. But the nice thing here is this is one of those set it and forget it sort of builds where now that I have Scintillating Feast going, I drop a trippy shot and everyone's just getting hit by lots of lava, or lots of lightning rather. Why did I say lava? I guess I'm trying to dodge the lava. We can probably kill that head with, yep, perfect, trippy shots dropped. Now again, the one downside to this build is we do lose access to, what's it called? We lose access to the Mirror Boon Boiling Blood, so we don't get that enhanced damage against enemies that are holding our cast stone. But what we get instead is a very safe, a much safer build, I suppose, because now we don't have to prioritize... well, I mean, we still have to prioritize some of the same things. Trying to kill this head. I know that if I have, since I have jolted, I can tag an enemy with like one hit, and they will probably die shortly thereafter. I am one hit from death here, so I do need to be careful. Lerny's probably going to start slamming immediately. I called it. I knew what he was what I was up against. So I'm just going to play it safe. We have trippy shot. We'll let him come to us. Or if he wants to stand in the giant AoE lightning, this is super slow, but it's super cheesy. There we go. Easy peasy Lerny. A pretty slow Asphodel though. Going into Elysium with only 2 extra minutes on the clock is a little bit sketchy. We're going to hopefully see a lot more damage. I definitely could have gone in and started punching Lerny and sped things along, and this was just me being playful, I think, and being silly. Maybe I shouldn't do that right now. So we got our Dionysus boon. We've got really all the boons we need at this point aside from Icewine. I don't think though that I will take Demeter here. I foresee Elysium being pretty darn rough for me. So I have 2 options. Let's see, where am I at in coin? Not very good, and I can't afford a Kiss of Sticks. We're gonna have to hope that Patroclus shows up, because I am very likely going to lose a Death Defiance if we get any chariots in our space. Granted, at least trippy shot will stun them up. I think I'm going to take coin purse here. That'll make sure that I can hopefully afford a boon by the end of the floor. An extra boldy isn't bad, but the coin is better spent on an actual healing something. I may have to toss out a Boldy if I need to, just for the healing. And then I do have to sell something here, and these are like the worst possible boons to be offered to have to sell. So unfortunately, I am going to have to use my last reroll and hope that something much better is offered to sell. Greatest Reflex, Pressure Points, or Scintillating Feast. I mean, honestly, out of all of these, I think I have to give up Pressure Points. Artemis will show up again and hopefully give it back. Unfortunately, we did get a couple levels on this, right? We got 2 levels on it. But I think the extra dash is way more important than the crit chance. Granted, the crit chance lets us kill things faster, so I don't know. It's a really icky. That's really cruel of them to set me up that way. There's not much I can do about it, but I think a dash is worth more than 5% crit chance at this stage. Maybe if we had Hunter's Mark, I'd think have a second thought. All right, here's the thing. Hammer versus Demeter. If we give up the hammer here, there's still a decent chance the hammer shows up later. We can't say the same about Demeter. I think I go for the Demeter room. It's a lower lower rarity Demeter room, so there's no guarantee that we see Ice Wine from her, but there's still a chance, and we need every chance we can get, because even on the chances where we don't get Ice Wine, that means it's one less boon that she can offer us later. Oh gosh, no shooty. Really would like to see more than anything especially after we get Ice Wine going. Oh, hello. Oh gosh. All right, so what I need to do here is try and kite this guy through my Scintillating Feast, because I'm pretty sure Scintillating Feast will stun it periodically, and now as long as I stay behind it, I should be safe. But these things, like, I can't use my special against them, because if I do, they're gonna get pulled into me and hit me with their charge attack, and sometimes their dashing, like, charge attack hits twice, and I would instantly die if that were the case. But they heard that I would lament the idea of chariots on this run, and of course they immediately give me chariots. That's so cute of them. RNG is just so unforgiving in this game sometimes, I swear. It's like, but genuinely, I sometimes feel like it hears me say, like, this would be the worst possible scenario, so let's let Jeff have the worst possible scenario. I would really do for any sort of cast enhancing boon. Hermes with auto reload wouldn't be terrible, but honestly, a Chaos Gate giving us extra cast would be nice.
Many who stand against you soon shall wither from the cold, young sprout.
All right, Demeter, if you say so. What have we got? Oh, Cold Fusion. Oh, I got excited. It wasn't actually the boon we were looking for. Oh well, I'll still take it. Once again, Jolted carried the last run, and here's Zeus to give us another boon. We could see his legendary here, which would be a huge, very, very kind of necessary damage up for us. I'm trying to stay behind these, but there are 3 chariots now, which makes it a lot harder to position correctly, but there we go. 3 chariots killed with no damage. I'm actually pretty happy about how that played out. Basically, once again, when you're running higher heat, you need to be very mindful about your positioning, and one of the most important things is to position around walls, because walls block chariots. The only issue is, some walls have very pointy bits attached to them, and those pointy bits can hurt a lot. Yeah, so see, chariots don't two-shot us, but they 3-shot us. I honestly could probably play it super lame, but again, we do have to be very mindful of tight deadline. I'm playing around my trippy shot more than anything, but these guys do have, with their enhanced attack speed, enough attack speed to probably sneak in a cheeky hit before I can stagger them. Splitting Bolt, there we go. That's a huge find for us. And then the mid shop versus Artemis. We take the mid shop because we're mindful of time. We can afford a boon, we can afford HP as an alternative. We see Demeter showing up again, so there is a decent chance of Ice Wine here. Let's see.
Pleasure doing business.
Okay, well, this has been a nice set of chambers. 2 duos and a legendary within 3 rooms. That's awesome. We're not doing Charon here because I'm a coward. Artemis is not bad, but Zeus is better here. I think I take the HP. I am inevitably going to lose a Death Defiance if this is Asterius. If it's Butterfly Ball, we're safe, but we've been having really good luck against Butterfly Ball. Yep, there it goes.
Appears it's time we challenge one another once again.
If I play super safe, I can win, but this is the issue. I can't really afford to. That said, Ice Wine slows. We've got Chilled going now, which is amazing. So as long as I try and keep things stacked up on Asterius, I can pretty well kite him out. And with a combination of Cold Fusion and Jolted, with it not just Jolted, but an epic tier Jolted, I can pretty heftily DPS Asterius. The main important thing here is that I need to make sure that he's at least getting tagged by Ice Wine or my special every couple seconds, or he'll lose his Chilled stacks. I'm going to drop Sisyphus here, just for the HP. Oh, well, we missed, but that's fine. I wasn't really using Sisyphus for the damage so much as the HP, so that's fine. And the other funny thing is, oh gosh, I got hit twice there. That's unfortunate. It's a good thing I used Sisyphus then. The funny thing about, what's it called? Sisyphus's droppings. Maybe I shouldn't call it that. But the funny thing about the companion Shady
Enough.
is those drops, the coin and the darkness there, they actually act as walls that Asterius can crash into with his dash, and his AI isn't really programmed to dash around them. So you can use them very defensively. Alright, so here's the moment of truth. What dash do I take? I was thinking about Dionysus' dash because I wanted to try and set up for Hangover, or sorry, Blackout, his legendary if I could. But we need to get Double Strike online. Our build is centered around Ice Wine and Scintillating Feast, and I'm getting too greedy going for other things. So Thunder Dash it is. It's not going to be a huge DPS up for us, but it sets us up for a bigger DPS up later, and that's what matters, I suppose. A lot of archers in this room, which is kind of scary. Don't want to leave them alive for long. And I need to be super careful about the traps, because traps will one-shot us in almost every capacity. Thankfully, we do have some relatively decent, because of Splitting Bolt, primarily rather, we have some face-melting damage now. But these guys kind of camping in the corners over there is not ideal for me. Thankfully, this is one instance where Talos actually helps, because I can pull enemies both into me and into my cast. I need to be super careful about archers, because in one archer shot and I'm popped, I'm going to hide back here and take out this archer where it's safe. I don't actually know where the archers are, but I know there are still some left. There we go, got him. Okay. I'm playing kind of safe, but I still have to play fairly aggro, or else I'm going to run into tight deadline being a real pain. There's our second hammer, so see, we're not punished for taking that Demeter room. If anything, we're rewarded because we got so much out of it. Oh, well, that was some avoidable damage, probably. Most important thing is we need to... if we get a Prometheus stone before Hades, we will be so set. That would be so huge. So Prometheus stone is the shop item that gives you an extra set of casts. Even more cast damage isn't bad. I'm a little nervous because I don't know where the enemies are. There you are. Oh, there's another instance if I pulled an enemy into me and almost got hit by its attack. Cool. Love it. Love to see it. I mean, it's my own fault. If I see their attack animation starting to play, I could just avoid attacking. It's really that simple. But it's a little frustrating that is how I have to play, you know? I'm supposed to build around this. Oh gosh. If I don't die in this room, it'll be a country miracle. What's a country miracle? A country mile? What? Oh gosh. Maybe I drop a Sisyphus here for healing, honestly. Yep, okay, I should have. We really need a Patroclus room, or maybe I save up coin. Alright, I'm gonna take down these archers. These archers are just as much of a problem as anything else. See, I hate chariots. I hate chariots on melee build. They're so rough. And I really don't have a good answer to them either, which is the worst part. Other than just kiting them around and costing myself a lot of time on tight deadline. Alright. I have 15 HP on my last Death Defiance. This is kind of sketchy. Rolling Knuckle, extra damage to, oh wait, sorry, I am dash attacking a lot, but Long Knuckle will give me a little bit of extra safety. I'm gonna go for that. That is not worth doing, by and large. I would honestly consider that trial if I were in a better situation. I am not in a good situation right now. And actually thinking on it, the only thing I stand to gain from that trial right now is Double Strike, which is a huge DPS up. There's no denying that. But I don't think it's worth it. I think we need to play it safe. The trial is a huge risk. It's a very long room, and I'm probably going to lose a Death Defiance no matter what I do, frankly, but let's not set myself up for failure this early. I am a little bit nervous. We don't have a lot of boons that I really want to sell in the pool of purging, so that is one potential issue that I foresee being coming up later. The best case scenario is we get a Patroclus room in the next chamber, but we all know how RNG is. We saw that first Zeus boon, right? We called it. No attack offered on the first roll. And Chaos wasn't exactly the best for us either. Granted, Chaos still gave us a boon that's still relevant at the end of the day. I'm so used to having low range that I am playing closer up to enemies than I need to because I have Long Knuckle. Oh great, more chariots. They heard I didn't want chariots, and what did I get? I got chariot chambers almost every room, and archer chambers. Ugh, this is rough. I'm just gonna outrange them for now. Just play as safe as possible. That's what I gotta do. Don't stand in front of traps, because traps will kill me. I'm being super mindful of everything around me, and it's hard to do that reliably and entirely. I think this should be the end of the chamber. No, we still have it. Oh, we have an archer. Okay. Oh, and he's got armor. If I had stood still and just kept DPSing him, I would have gotten hit there because he had armor. That was a very, like, a snap decision to judgment there. All right. Static discharge for sure. That's another 30 damage. We go for the HP here. We need this. But if I take the coin, I can afford a boon. There really aren't many boons that I need. I think the HP is more valuable here. That's my decision. Hopefully we see... Would love to see a Than right now, honestly. Than would be so great for our survivability. Honestly, if we see melee champions, that would be great, because I can outrange them now, aside from the spearmen, I suppose. But as long as we keep the attacks on, we stagger lock them or hit stun them more than they can DPS us. Butterfly balls are a little annoying, but honestly, just fine. As you can see, I have completely given up the notion of using my special. It's honestly caused me more pain than significant benefit. I will use it on bosses and not much else because bosses don't get pulled. Alright, I need to be mindful of this archer. Drop Scintillating Feast, Ice Wine where possible for the damage, and then I just have to position. This is all about positioning. This is really about positioning well. And see, there's my example of I don't know if I got hit by the archer there, but I'm pretty sure that was one of the spearmen just cheekily sneaking out an attack at the last second. I'm playing around this wall, which is most important. This wall offers me a huge level of safety because it blocks the archers from attacking me. But look at this, our timer is not looking too pretty right now. We have the damage, we just don't have the survivability because we didn't go for a build around Athena. I generally recommend if you're not comfortable doing 32 heat, go for Athena rooms. And unfortunately, we are not getting a Patroclus, which means there's a decent chance the run ends here. I'm gonna have to buy that HP. I'm calling it now. The pool of purging we're about to walk into after, assuming we even beat the heroes, is going to force us to sell legendaries and duos, and little else. Best case scenario, we sell Demeter Special. I don't need Demeter Special anymore. I'm gonna buy this HP. We need what survivability we can afford, and then we have to hope that a pool of purging offers at least one Death Defiance.
I swear, upon my honor, fiend, you shall not pass.
I'm gonna drop out Sisyphus immediately. I want the HP.
Coming through. Watch out!
Alright, I do not need to tank hits like that. I've taken 2 very avoidable hits. Asterius should start dashing any second now. Yep, called it. Got caught on the wall, that's fine. We probably try and melt Asterius first. I'll go ahead and tag him with a cheeky special there. Drop Ice Wine. And then just focus on kiting him out. Like, we do have the damage to make up for our lack of tight deadline. It's just, if I don't play super safe, I'm gonna get punished for it. I'm gonna chase after Asterius a little bit, or Theseus there a little bit. And then take my chances to DPS. We need some palms on Trippy Shot. That would help a lot too. There we go. Oh, that's Theseus. What? Theseus? What? Where are you? Theseus, where are you? Oh, there you are. I think I can probably finish off Minotaur here. No, I can't. Okay. Alright. Asterius down. Theseus is going to get popped because I can shoot them from behind walls with the cast. There we go. Alright, we are not looking at a great tight deadline right now, but I say as long as we get within a 3-chamber 6, I should be fine.
You are my biggest fan.
That really wasn't a terrible heroes fight, honestly. I definitely took some hits that did need to be taken, but not terrible.
A disappointing show from Theseus.
Alright. Now begs the question, do I take Evergreen Acorn or do I take Lucky Tooth? And I say this every time, I think Evergreen Acorn is actually the better option because think about how much damage Hades does. On average, he's hitting at least for 30, and so that blocks at least 150 damage. Skelly's Lucky Tooth only heals you for 100, so overall, especially at higher heats, and in particular when you have levels of hard labor going, I think Evergreen Acorn massively outperforms Lucky Tooth on Hades. The main argument for Lucky Tooth is if I get hit by a single trap on the way to Hades, I'm just dead. I'm just dead. I don't have enough HP to survive it. They do 150 damage here. So I need to play super safe. Also, what did I say? Only duos, legendaries, and of course Trippy Shot, which is like the core of our build. So I have to give up Cold Fusion here. I don't have any rerolls left. This game has been unbelievably spiteful in terms of RNG. It'll be a miracle if I pull this out. But we're hanging on. We're sweating for these melee 32 heats. Turns out I don't run 32 heat on the gauntlets, the sword, or the spear very often. It's definitely a little bit riskier, to say the least. Did I swapped out my keepsake to Evergreen Acorn, right? Okay, good. A little scary. Look for any coin chests while I can. This is a moment where I honestly would love to see Athena. Just like, Athena just pops in and like, hi, I know I'm not allowed to be here without you taking my keepsake, but just in case you rethought your decision, here you go. We probably buy that Zeus boon now, honestly. But I'm not going to, because I want to make sure that I have 360 coin in case a Well of Charon shows up and offers us a Death Defiance. There is our second Hermes. I don't think it's worth risking for Hermes right now. So Artemis can offer us Pressure Point, which would be really good for crit chance. Dionysus offers us his Call probably, or Strong Drink wouldn't be bad to fully heal at the end of the run. But I think in terms of immediate damage, Artemis outperforms. So we'll go for Artemis Room first. Of course, that thing immediately teleported out of our Ice Wine. Well, like I said, we're not exactly lacking for damage. We're lacking severely for survivability. But maybe I can make this work regardless. Unfortunately, like, the best case scenario would have been we could have set up for Artemis's Legendary, because an extra 2 casts would be huge. And that's the other thing I need to be on the lookout for from the Charon wells, the Wells of Charon, whatever, is any sort of cast enhancing boon. I do think I unfortunately took a hit there. I'm not sure what hit me. I think it must have been the rat doing something, but I didn't take that much damage, I think. Alright, what mini-boss are we going to be facing in the next chamber? Of course that still hit me. Of course that still hit me. Man, I really wish we had gotten Breaching Cross. The extra damage to armor just makes this a lot easier. Oh, okay. For a second I thought it was Tony. It's not Tony. Not Tony is fine. I just dash behind walls here for safety and keep tossing out my cast, then come back out and DPS where possible. Unfortunately, our cast just went to Timbuktu over there. I think we should be able to get this. Okay, he's in the red now, so there we go. Take out this satyr because we don't want to have to deal with satyrs. And now I just deal. Gosh, I almost dashed right into that projectile, and wow, from downtown. All right, really not ideal enemy setup. Why a large room with satyrs is a pain. That's the reason why we focus on mini boss chambers over just doing a generic chamber. That's why I'm not going for that Hermes boon. Mini bosses are just generally safer. Pressure points epic level 4%. That, despite losing 2 palms on the previous pressure points, that is just 1% less than what we had before. Awesome. All right, again, wait, hold on. Can I do math? Let's see. 270 would drop us down to about 500. I can afford this Zeus boon now, so I'm gonna go for it.
Thank you, mate.
We got Cold Fusion back. We don't have double strike, right? Well, oh, okay, I can't reroll, so we'll take Cold Fusion. I can always sell it again in a pool of purging and get more coin potentially. We're gonna go for this Dionysus room. If we don't get the 2 chamber 6, I'll go for Hermes next. Thankfully with Ice Wine, we really do counter these tiny vermin. They can't really do much against us because I just stand in my AoE and they get popped immediately. We have a lot of multi-hit. Like, our build is very multi-hit centric, which is great for us. I would really like to dash across this gap and not... I was like sliding across the gap there instead of like actually... I don't know. I don't think I sell Cold Fusion yet. But if we're... let's see if it's offered. It's not even offered, so not even worth considering. Or not possible to consider, I suppose, is the better comment here. Alright, so we have had insane sticks luck lately of 2 chamber 6s every run of this 32 heat challenge so far. I don't anticipate that being the case today because of how our RNG has been, but no. Alright.
A satyr sack already.
Alright, Premium Vintage gives me 25 HP, After Party gives us damage reduction, Positive Outlook makes us take 20% less damage. I don't think it really matters. None of these are... I think would have been best off with Strong Drink because it would have healed me to full. So I'm going into Hades with next to half my HP. I'm going to have to play super safe, but I do have 5 minutes on the clock, which is the one potential saving grace of the situation. I think... I don't know what actually prevents me from taking more damage here. Probably Premium Vintage. I guess I take that. Like, I think my answer to Hades here, oh, of course we got a level on Storm Lightning. That's completely useless. I don't need to bounce more time into more enemies when I only have one enemy DPS. I think, honestly, best case scenario here, and of course we don't get a good palm on anything. I guess I'll toss it on the special. No, I don't want to. This is like this is like the worst slate of options, honestly. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play super safe against Hades because I have to. It's lame, but play lame, win challenge, you know? I think with that in mind, I still put it on the attack, probably. Or, yeah, I don't know. There's no right decision there. There was no correct decision.
Cerberus moves for no one, but for Satasax, he can make an exception.
Okay, so here are the considerations going into this fight. Most importantly, I cannot get hit by a pot. One pot with hide and security on does 150 damage. If I get hit by that, the run is basically over. I have to kite out Hades like my life depends on it and just spam Ice Wine. That's really all it boils down to. I honestly wonder if it would have been more optimal to run through other chambers and see if I find a well of Charon. I don't think that was the correct option, but hindsight, you know, you never know.
Beat me this time, Father.
RNG has been brutal this run, aside from a clean Styx.
Show me everything you've learned of how to fight.
Honestly, it may have been better if we had gotten a 3-chamber Styx just for that chance, plus the Hermes boon. Oh well. Whatever it may be, we have 5 minutes to play super cheesy, and that's all I can afford to do here. So Dad, don't mind me. Okay, well, I immediately got hit. This is going well already. I just need to keep him slowed as much as possible, tag him with attacks. I got hit a second time, so we're already down 2 charges of Evergreen Acorn. This is basically, we're gonna play Kite the Dad. Try and take out his friends where possible so that they aren't a factor. And the most important thing I have to recognize is when the pots are on the field, when he gets his pots on the field, I'm going to have to be extra careful because Storm Lightning will bounce to every single pop if I attack it and just immediately potentially kill me if I'm not killed. All right, we have taken every hit imaginable in this fight so far. Gosh. Ooh, I played that really well. I conserved my dash there. All right, we're out of Evergreen Acorn. I have gotten hit by every single Boiling Blood he's trying to throw at us. I'm just gonna go in DPS. Honestly, it seems like this is very much the matter of enemies can't kill you if you kill them first sort of mindset. I need to be really scared about his armored friends, but once they get popped, they're easy pickings. Once their armor gets popped, rather, because I can start hit stunning them. Oh gosh, I think that one's gonna get popped. That one's gonna get popped. Yep. Okay. I have 3 dashes. I have a lot of damage. I just need to use it. Going for cheeky hits where possible. Okay, he clears all status ailments when he uses darkness. So I'm gonna toss this on myself, knowing that he would be right on top of me. Dodge that. There we go. Okay, that's phase 1.
Get up.
His things have popped, so I'm gonna keep Ice Wine trained on him where possible.
Come on and die.
All right, here are the first round of pots. Oh gosh, lasers. No, not lasers. Okay. He's going for lasers now, which is actually great for us. As long as this pot doesn't hit me, or the lasers, I can get some good free damage on him. We don't even have a call. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, there's a lot of damage on him, but also us. We can survive not a single pot anymore. Oh, I am lucky that didn't hit me. If he gives us laser patterns, we are forgiven. Laser patterns are ideal. Him not summoning pots is also ideal. Unfortunately, I can't get close range to him, but I can hit him with those Ice Wines. All right, he's summoning pots again. I'm gonna use this to try and take out his little cast stones. Oh gosh. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. How did I not get hit by any of that? How did I not get hit by any of that? That is honestly, the run was over there. I did not deserve to dodge that. I don't know how I didn't get hit by that. He died to Jolted. Oh my goodness, Kiwi, my heart is racing, but
Again, you have defeated me somehow. And yet,
I absolutely got hit by those pots at the end there, and that should have ended the run. I have no idea why we didn't take any damage there. Genuinely, I think this was a loss. I don't know if it was a bug. I don't know if I perfectly positioned and timed my dashes so I dodged the hit frames. Whatever the situation, I'm gonna have to watch it in post, but I don't think I'm gonna have an answer for that. Whatever it is, maybe that was karma. That was all of the terrible RNG I had up until this point. And by terrible RNG, I mean I got 3 rooms in a row with a duo, legendary duo. So you know what? I don't even deserve that comment.
I could have had you.
I agree, Hades. I don't feel like this was a win.
Say hi to Hypnos for me.
But as far as the game is concerned, it's a win.
Name of Hades.
We get to keep our win streak just a little bit longer until we get a sword run, and then I'm SOL. Let's be honest. I like the gauntlets. I feel fairly confident with the gauntlets. Nowhere near as confident as say running a bow or rail run. But whew, that was close. That was so close. But there you go. Icewine, extremely powerful. Aspect of Talos, honestly for me, F tier weapon. Don't use it. There are so many better options. Its special is actually just a counter to playing safe on higher heat. I genuinely do not like the aspect of Talos and probably will choose not to use it over other weapons most of the time. That said, though, we did have a very strong build. We got Cold Fusion, we got Splitting Bolt, we got Icewine, and we got Scintillating Feast. Actually, how do I do this and make it look pretty? I guess... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Scintillating Feast, there it is. Icewine, Scintillating Feast, and Cold Fusion just for honorable mention, because technically Cold Fusion did get the kill there with the last stack of Jolted. There we go, 117 win streak. We're almost up to 150 total clears. That's kind of wild. But not gonna lie, Kiwi, between this and the other run where we had like...
Beyond this point lies such a horrifying fate that we had better speak no more of it for now.
That run where we had no Death Defiances left coming out of Tartarus without tight deadline. I think that the message of the story of this playthrough is just never give up until the battle is lost, because you can pull it through.
I think.
I barely did. I was one hit from death, and frankly, I should have died.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you come in. Welcome back.
But I didn't die, and that's what matters. So, anyone who's watching, if you saw that happen and you can explain why I didn't die to those pots, please tell me, because I don't have an answer for it.
Go forth, lad, and do as you must.
Take care, sir.
All 3 of Cerberus the Watchdog's terrifying countenances greet the prince.
Take care. You're my good boy. Yes, you are.
But all right, that is 4 out of 24 aspects completed on 32 heat. Granted, I have a couple other aspects that I've already done this on, but I'm starting counting from the from when I started counting.
If need be, though the underworld is ready when you are.
So we've got...
I trust my hymn provides some solace to your days or nights.
Only 20 more aspects to go, which is a lot. It's 20 runs.
Nice work, Orpheus.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's not that many runs. I guess when you put it on paper, if each run ends up averaging around an hour, I guess it is actually a lot of time. So never mind, what do I know?
Please count on me for all your household needs.
Will do so. All right, you know what I would love to see in this next room? I would love to see a bow. I would love to see a bow run. We've had so many melee runs. How much do you want to bet it's going to be the sword, though?
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, okay.
Stitches hungers.
My prediction game has been on point this episode, and I am so upset about it. Why can't I be optimistic instead of cynical and then get rewarded for that? Why does my cynicism have to always be rewarded? It's just because of the world we live in, isn't it, Kiwi? All right, which sword will be the easiest to clear?
You as multifaceted as anyone I know.
Obviously, Aspect of Poseidon, I go a cast build. What would be a fun cast to build? Actually, you know what? Let's build around Artemis. Let's go an Exit Wounds build, I think. So that means I need either Poseidon, Zeus, Athena, or Aphrodite on the cast. Well, whoever I end up deciding that will be, I'll decide it in another episode or in between episodes, I suppose. Kiwi, with all that said.
You want to fight me, boyo? Well, hop to it, stat.
You heard this, Skelly. You want to fight me? Hop to it.
Punch me, kick me, bite me. Do whatever you want. Beat me up.
That's not really our relationship. Never mind.
No,
Anyway. Anyway, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you. In the next one, I am playing my least favorite weapon with my favorite aspect on my least favorite weapon. And we'll see how that 32 heat run goes. Until then, I love you, and I will see you in the next one.
I am slain.